Claire. Good morning, everybody. I'm Barbara Kolosinska, and I'm the director from C&M Travel Recruitment and C&M Executive Recruitment. We are an international recruitment agency with offices all over the UK and in Australia as well. So hopefully we are in a good position to be able to talk to you about the market, what's out there, how you need to present yourselves, and basically the industries in your relevant locations. My business, we have 30 staff and we're all from the travel industry. We've got over probably 250 to 300 years of both recruitment, travel recruitment and travel industry experience. So I think what we don't know about travel recruitment is probably not worth knowing about. And we specialise in all sectors, all from OTAs to airlines to TMCs to tour operators, you name it, we do it, all levels and all disciplines as well. So I'm hoping that that covers pretty much all of you out there. It's been a tough few months for us all. Probably the hardest 3 months of my travel industry career, which is almost 30 years now, even though C&M 22 years. But we've got through it. And one thing I want to obviously stress to everybody, that we are a united industry. We're going to get through it together and we will get through this. We've got through disasters before, obviously nothing to this scale, but we will get through this. The current market, what's it like? There are some small positive signs from my perspective. Obviously, we are only as busy as the industry out there, as busy as our clients. And of course, in March, when it all happened, we went from 1,000 vacancies to 0 to 10. But it's beginning to trickle back. There are a few customers and clients beginning to recruit, and it is those clients that will prevail, because they are the ones that can nab you guys that you might be looking for work, you might be on furlough, depends on your relevant position and what country you're in, of course. Of course, it all depends on our governments, border controls, and so on. There's very big questions about quarantine and air bridges, as we know. International travel will undoubtedly be decreased due to border controls. However, I think that we are all quite pleasantly surprised at how quickly it is increasing, that people, A, want to book holidays, want to go away, are quick at jumping on flights, ferries, Eurostar over to Europe, the tunnel between the UK and France, which gives access to obviously Europe and the UK. We also believe the staycation market, whichever country you're in, will increase first, because that's not relevant to any border controls and so on. So that's a big market. It could be cottages, it could be parks and so on. I think that the sector that is going to struggle and will take time to bounce back, but it will be long haul, obviously the States, and of course business travel. We're really noticing a real challenging time in the business travel sector. However, one sector within the TMC world that we've noticed is really getting busy quite quickly is the entertainment field. So that's something to really keep an eye on moving forward. So what will the office look like when we all return, depending on if you're office-based, home-based, field-based? Undoubtedly, every single company is going to be looking at more home working opportunities. Every single employee, now they have experience working from home, they ever gone on furlough working from home, we are all at home a lot more. And I think what this is doing is creating awareness and flexibility and comfort that we can actually all do it. We can work from home and we can do it very easily. The technology is fantastic. We're motivated, we're disciplined. And I think moving forward, this will be the way forward as well. I think a lot of companies are going to reduce the offices they've got, and therefore that will have a knock-on effect to the opportunities that they're going to give their staff and potential future employers as well, which of course is going to be job sharing, hot desking, working from home more, which is obviously fantastic for a lot of you out there, because it gives that work-life balance such a big focus. I know for me and my staff and my business, absolutely paramount in what I'm looking at. Video calls, conferences, Zoom is now a verb. Let's Zoom tomorrow, resume, etc. This has become second nature in only 3 months. We do it without even being frightened. Historically, people used to be frightened of it. A lot of our clients, the ones that are now beginning to recruit and interview, are doing Zoom interviews. They're making offers over Zoom or Skype, but I think Zoom is pretty much the favourable one. It is going to mean fewer face-to-face meetings, but I don't think anything really beats the face-to-face human contact, doing a deal, shaking the hand. If you're a travel agent, booking a holiday directly with a customer, I just think this is going to create more opportunity, and that's usually the case with situations like this. Out of everything bad comes something good. This will also mean that there's going to be a different skill set required. The ability to work from home isn't everybody's cup of tea. Some of my staff, some candidates have really flourished, because usually in a working environment they might be in a loud sales call centre, and they might just be sitting in the corner quietly, but they're working from home and they've absolutely escalated, or vice versa. Working from home might not necessarily be everybody's cup of tea either, but that could also mean, it might mean retraining, be it in technology or whatever field or area that you are working with in the travel sector. If you've been furloughed, or whatever you call it in your relevant countries, or newly redundant, or you might be made redundant, I think these are cliches, but they are cliches for a reason, and everybody's constantly talking about it, but it's so important to keep routine going, stay active, have a hobby, and even if you are not supposed to be working, keep abreast of what's going on in the industry. The industry is changing, and it's changing even more now. It's ever evolving. There's changes happening. It's so dynamic, and if you don't keep abreast of what's going on and read your relevant trade press, then you won't know what's going on when you come back to work, and it'll be like being the new girl or new boy again. If you are a travel consultant or BTC, keep developing your skills, keep looking at online training and GDS courses and other skills as well. Learn a new language. Loads of our clients always look for candidates with languages. That's really, really, really key. So do look at developing that. Volunteering as well. I think if you show willingness and the selfless skill to volunteer for something, me as a recruiter, I look at that on a CV, and I look at that and I think, wow, you've gone over and above, and you've volunteered for something. I think that really shows something about your nature and your personality. Read the trade press, like I've said. Keep engaged with all social media, and of course your professional social media is your LinkedIn, and keep updated, keep engaged, write blogs, read blogs, comment, share, like, because that is your professional face, if you like. And if you're out of sight, you're out of mind. And you must remember that you're not the only person out there. There are hundreds, thousands of candidates in a similar position to you, whatever position that may be. And if you are feeling that you are now ready to either look for a new role because you're not feeling comfortable, your role is at risk of redundancy, or that actually you do want to move on and there will be roles, then it's important to update your CV. Your CV, keep your profile short, 1 to 2 paragraphs. Always sell yourself. Talk about your achievements in your profile. List all your jobs. Keep it bullet pointed. Your most recent role first. Keep your dates, your companies, your job titles, and your achievements in there in bullet point as well. There's nothing worse than reading a CV and it's just a mishmash of paragraphs. If you keep it bullet pointed, imagine yourself as a recruiter or an employer. How would you like to see a CV? Keep it bullet pointed so it's easy to read. Don't leave gaps. If there's gaps, it's going to create questions. So fill in the gap. If you are having children, if you took a career gap, if you went traveling, it's very important because it's just going to make questions arise. Include recent education, especially if it's relevant to your role and for the role that you're going for as well. Hobbies, very important. Sports awards, coaching, anything like that. I always look at achievements in sports, especially if you are a sales animal, because if you're going to be good at sports and you've achieved high levels, you're undoubtedly going to be a high achiever in a sales environment as well. And of course, if it's a tour operator or a specialist destination, GMC or something like that, of course, list the countries that you've been to or that you've contracted in, or not just the country, the specific locations within that country as well. Very, very important. Try to stick to 2 sides, but if you are as mature as I am, it's going to be slightly more than 2 sides. That's not a problem at all, but be consistent, make it look nice, make it aesthetically pleasing. Just put yourselves again in the shoes of the employer. There could be 30 CVs on that person's desk. If they just think, I can't read that because I can't read it, it's too jumbled, they're going to just put it to one side without even reading the context of it. So please remember that. Save it. Obviously, Word is better, or PDF. No photos. As good looking as many of you are, we don't want any unconscious bias or bias to happen because of what you look like. The person might know you, they might not like the look of you, irrelevant of age, sex, creed, etc. So it's very important not to put your photo on. Of course, include your contact details. I know it sounds very simple, but so many CVs we receive do not have a mobile number or a location of where you live. And of course, the email address as well. And proofread it and get somebody else to proofread it as well. And of course, send your CV to us and we can have a look at that for you too. How to develop your career. Always look at learning new skills, constantly evolve, constantly grow. Volunteer for courses, travel where and when you can, of course when we're allowed to. Build up your destination knowledge. So many online courses offer this. Research and read about the industry. Constantly read about the industry. It is. If I don't read our trade press for a day or two, I've got so much to catch up on because it's constantly changing. Your social media and online presence, that sells you. So it's very, very important that it is representing the person you want to be represented. That's not to say not to have a personality, but it's not just about LinkedIn, it's all the others as well. Facebook, Twitter, Insta. I have turned people down to come and work for us at C&M because I've looked at their Facebook, and that's not just, we're a very sociable, outgoing, joyful industry, but there's certain photos that you might put on there that might not necessarily be appropriate for a potential employer to see. If you want to be shown like that, not a problem at all, but just bear that in mind. And Insta as well, of course. And if you feel that you want your Facebook to be like that, then that's fine, just keep it private. And just always remember, what does your online presence say about you? Is it your professional image? Is it your fun image? Is it your travel knowledge? There's so many different facets of your online presence that teaches a story about you. And like I said, employers and recruiters will regularly check out profiles. Everyone has got access to it. And of course, write blogs, write articles, share them, and so on, because that will also speak volumes moving forward. This is a cliche, and it almost seems like common sense, especially in our travel industry, which is full of outgoing, gregarious, fun people. But employers really do look for these key traits, and it's all about passion, the can-do attitude, rolling up your sleeves and you know, doing whatever is asked, the desire, the loyalty to companies, that also speaks volumes. Flexibility, destination knowledge. What's your USP? What's something different about you? Enthusiasm and energy, that is so important. If I came across today and I had no energy and I was looking down and I wasn't enthusiastic about this amazing industry and my amazing business, then you wouldn't be interested. And that also is exactly the same as when you are talking to a potential employer, as well as a business partner or a client. Positivity, that PMA, positive mental attitude, is so key, and it's tested us all over these last few months. But if you can get through these last few months with a positive head on, then we can get through pretty much anything. Hard work speaks volumes. Let your personality shine through, your personal travel experience, and of course, willingness to get involved. And that is what really all employers look for. And that can't really be taught. That's ingrained in you. So make sure that really comes across, be it in your online profile, your CV, or when you're speaking to potential employers face to face. Where to find the latest roles if you are in that position to be looking for a job. C&M website, www.candm.co.uk. All the various job boards, these are very much UK specific. We have Total Jobs Read, we've got CV Library, Travel Job Search, Aviation Job Search, Travel Daily, but all our global roles are advertised on all of those various job boards. Our UK trade press, which is Travel Weekly, TTG, Travel Mole, Travel Bulletin, that's not just to find jobs, but if you see an article and there's a call centre opening or a new ship being launched, then great, you go for it. You approach that person that you might know that works there to see if they are employing. National, local newspapers, social media, that's a fantastic place to look for roles, and of course company websites. If there is that dream company that you would like to work for, go onto their website, look at their careers page, get the hiring manager's name, get the HR manager's name, and contact them directly. The other thing to talk about CVs is make sure your CV is bespoke and targeted to whatever role you are going for. So you might need to tweak it a little bit as well. So on that note, that is it. I hope you've enjoyed the session this morning. They're my details. I'm sure the presentation will be shared with you as well. Please feel free to contact me, link in with me as well, and we will all get through this together. Thank you very much.